So I bought an old PS2 recently and it was beyond my skills to repair, so this is how I repurposed it. So first thing I did when I realised it wasn't working was take it apart to see if I could fix it. Unfortunately I couldn't, so I've broken it down into parts. If you've seen my previous video, it's always good to have some spare parts nearby to repair other ones, just in case anything goes wrong on your main console that you play on. And in this instance I came across Time Crisis 3 as well that was stuck inside the disk drive. A game I already own, but doesn't hurt to have a backup, I guess. And then I decided to do something I've never done. Customise my PS2. So before I painted it, I had to strip it down, sand it down, make sure it's all clean. To do that I cheated and put it in the dishwasher. Be aware if you do this, the stickers are most likely to come off. This didn't bother me too much, but if you are looking to resell the console in the future, it's probably a good idea to keep it on. Finally, after I washed it all up and got rid of all the dust, I decided to use some isopropanol just to get rid of all the oils. This step probably wasn't absolutely necessary, I just wanted to do it so the base paint would stick better. So next up I prepped a little area to paint on. Disclaimer, if you are going to try and copy this video, don't paint all over your bedroom or something. Make sure you've got a space to do it and you've got your parents' permission. Now that we've got that out of the way, and I don't know why I said it because most people playing the PS2 are probably in their 30s. Moving on, you're going to want to do a base coat with a primer. So I used the white primer and I put it in some hot water because I did this in the winter. And if you warm it up so it sprays better, and just give it a little test out the spray can to make sure it's coming out properly. Now down by the USB ports you can either heat the blue part off, or as I did here I just taped it, and then you're good to go to give it a base layer. So as you can tell I've left this way longer than I probably should have. It's dried out a little bit patchy, but we're going to go over it with another colour so it's not too bad. But as you can see it's not perfect, doesn't need to be. Just rub it down a little bit with some tissue and maybe some light sanding paper and get it as flat as you can. So use that little test area. I'm going to use this nice purple I got. So next up, after you've painted it in the colour you chose, so I chose purple of course, you want to peel that white bit off and then just sand around the edges. Use a scalpel or a little knife just to scrape away the little bits left over. So I'm just going to leave that to dry, see how it dries. Making sure obviously I got in underneath there, all around the top, the sides, and even got in underneath on the side to move it slightly inside the air vent. When we lift it up, we'll see how it is after a little while, and then maybe give it another coat. And then while the other half was drying in the purple I'd painted, I went back to the top half that I painted white earlier, sanded it down a little bit, and then gave it a second coat. Got the white top, the purple base, gave it a couple of coats to make it look a bit better. I'm going to primer again a bit more white on the first one, and then we're going to lacquer this flawless lacquer stuff on the purple so that we can wipe it down when it gets dirty without ruining the paint. If you really want to go into detail, you can also paint the extremities. I will warn you though, the disc tray is easy to get back on the cover, but the memory card parts are quite difficult. I was going to end it here, and maybe I should have, but then my creativity got the better of me and decided after I painted it I was going to put some characters on as well. So I chose a game that I played many a time and put probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours into. But for anybody out there, maybe their favourite PS2 game, if you're thinking on painting it yourself, give it a go. Get some art from your favourite game and put it on there. You can always trace it over if you're not a very good artist. Get creative and design your own. Finally, I'll just leave you now with some music and the outro to the final finished product. So hopefully you like the final product here. Only cost me a few quid off of eBay for the actual console. Yeah, broken I know, but I've repurposed it and give it a new life.